So, like we normally like to do, we like to infuse our events with a little bit of wisdom. And today we have a guest. His name is Hari Vilas. He is a UPenn graduate, but he's done something quite spectacular. He combined his entrepreneurial and business mindset with spirituality, and he's done so in a way that's allowed him to achieve many, many great things over the course of his life. He has started many spiritual communities around the world, including in Paris and Berkeley, even here in Seattle. He has created an organization called Northwest Share, which puts together festivals across the region. In fact, some of the largest festivals, there's, I believe on April 5th, there's a Holi festival, the Festival of Colors in Marymore Park, where they're expecting over 10,000 people, but also many other festivals like a vegetarian food fest and even Diwali in the Seattle Center. He also established the Goloka Farm. He was the creator of the Goloka Farm. For those of you who were at the event with Guru, both of them were actually partners. They were working together on this project. But Hari Vilas was the mastermind behind it. He was the one who planted the seed and always envisioned a place where you could practice the concept of ahimsa or non-violence. So, and most importantly, I forgot to mention, he started a very successful multi-million dollar business known as Uncle Harry's. You can actually find Uncle Harry's in Whole Foods and PCC and, I don't know, over 600 different stores online and physical locations. So he brings a wealth of knowledge when it comes to understanding how can you live simply, but at the same time, not in the way of I'm living on the top of the Himalayas and meditating on top of like a deer skin and like freezing myself to death. But he's applied spiritual living in a very practical sense. So today we're going to have a podcast-style talk with Hari Vilas, where we're going to be asking him some questions, and then you as an audience will have a chance to ask him questions about his experience as well. So just give us 30 seconds to a minute while we shuffle and get ready for the talk. Yeah, we don't like it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan ki Jai. Yes. So we have today's moderator will be Shruti, along with myself, and we have a couple of questions questions curated, which should hopefully help us dive into Hari Vilas's background, and we'll take it from there.
So, we all know that Hari Vilas created a very thriving business, Uncle Harry's. So we want to know from you how Bhakti Yoga guided your approach towards entrepreneurship while building this business.
Well, first of all, I'm not wanted by the FBI. So that's a plus. So I started that because Uncle Harry's Natural Products. I was living a long time in France, and I had a very large, program there. It was called Spiritual Sky, and but I got tired of all the taxes you have to pay in France and Europe. It's complete nonsense. So I moved back to the United States, and when I moved back, I was in Berkeley, California, and I decided that I would spend most of my time in spiritual activities. But again, I was thinking about my kids, so I started another business called Uncle Harry's Natural Products. And in the beginning it was just like a hobby, but it developed very, very much. And I was able to give that to my kids to manage, and they've done a great job. So in that way, my kids work together. So I have 4 of my kids that are involved in Uncle Harry's Natural Products. So that was good for them because they keep the family, let's say, family relationship, not only through working together, but also playing together also. So they have a lot of fun doing it, and at the same time they have a way of making a living. So that was my real desire, was to make sure my kids would be happy and working together, and being able to have a spiritual life as well as having a way to make some money and live a simple life. Okay. Yeah. Anything else?
So many people think that spirituality and business, they don't go well together. So what's your perspective on building a successful company but staying true to the spiritual values?
Everybody has to eat, get the food on the table, right? So how are you going to do that? You have to do it by working honestly, and at the same time, not forgetting your relationship to God or Krishna. So if you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, who's in your heart, hears you chanting. And he says, oh, this person is interested in me, and now I'm going to take an interest in them. So when Krishna takes an interest in you, he makes everything easy for you. And he protects you, he gives you good intelligence, and he makes sure that you do not develop good relationships with other people, as well as being under the protection of Krishna always. Now, some people might say, oh, what is all this? You believe in God? I don't believe in God. Well, that's a big mistake. God is in everybody's heart. And in Sanskrit, it's called he is the the Paramatma, the Supreme Lord who's in the heart of every living entity. So he's the closest person to us. And if we understand that and become cognizant of the fact that God is in my heart, He hears everything we say, He knows all our desires, and He can help us achieve those desires if they are, in other words, pure desires to help humanity. So that's been my experience in life. When you always are a well-wisher and you always think of doing good things to help people, life becomes a lot easier, and you get a lot of, let's say, altruistic people that want to work with you and work, harmoniously to do good things. So every year I put on a whole number of festivals in the summertime, and the biggest festival is called Ananda Mela. I don't know if any of you have ever come to that festival. We have like 500 volunteers to put that festival on, and there's like 20,000 people that come. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of music, dancing, and nice vegetarian food, and all kinds of booths. There was interesting, things for sale as well as free things. And to be able to put on a major festival like that, it costs a lot of money. But the camaraderie that develops from putting on a festival like that is very, very, let's say, very heartfelt. So it takes about at least 500 people to put on that festival. And it's like a big family, and we work really hard, and it goes on for 2-3 days, and we have a lot of fun. So that's one festival. I do about 5 festivals in the summertime. So that type of festival, we have the vegetarian festival, and we have Ananda Mela, which is the biggest one, and then there are smaller festivals. It brings people together. It creates unity and friendship, and a lot of people volunteer because they're having fun, and at the same time they're connecting with other people. And this is important because the worst thing in life is to be lonely, not happy.
On a thread is something you can't see, and it really resonates with the point you made about how the divine source, it's something you cannot see but ultimately holds everything together. And I had a question in regards to, you mentioned Krishna. So they say Bhakti Yoga isn't a religion, but rather it's a spirituality, it's a spiritual process. So for those who are spiritual seekers, not, so what is the outcome of spiritualism versus religion, for instance?
A lot of people say that I don't believe in any spirit, but I have a spiritual life. Nobody wants to, not nobody, but a lot of people don't like to commit themselves to a spiritual movement, but they think of themselves as having a spiritual concept of life. But it's important, if you want to have a lot of friendship and camaraderie to join a group of people that work together cooperatively and have fun. See, the whole purpose of spiritual life is to have fun, clean fun, with nothing gross, and everybody working together, just like you have a nice group here. You know, you work together, you pray together, and a family that prays together stays together. So by chanting Hare Krishna, the Maha Mantra, Maha means great, and Mantra means Man means the mind, and Mantra means it is the way that you connect to God. Without that connection to God, you don't really have a peaceful, happy life. But I can guarantee you, if you develop a relationship with God, Krishna, you have a very peaceful, happy life, and you have conviction that if I live a spiritual life, God will protect me always. And that's very important in order to be able to do good to others. So this whole concept and basically much more than what you could only do by yourself. And you know, you don't want to be an army of one person. You want to have an army of many persons working cooperatively and having fun at the same time, developing genuine, loving relationships and doing good to others. So that's basically what Krishna consciousness is all about, doing good to others and bringing people together in camaraderie with love and devotion to God, which is the binding, let's say, principle that keeps people working together. So when we have our biggest festival called Ananda Mela, we have 500 volunteers, and they're all working together, and it's a lot of fun, and many people come to the festival. We have about 20,000 people that come to the festival. So it's wonderful to put on programs like that. It's nice to have programs like this, but it's also nice to have major programs where many, many people become introduced to a large group of people working together and are happy, and there's no downside to it. It's all blissful.
I was recently documentary or a short documentary film on YouTube by Business Insider, and it was talking about the rise of fake gurus, and they used a specific instance of someone in India that goes by the name Radhema, and how she ends up using scare tactics and manipulation to fool people into believing that she is God, and that if you don't worship her as a human being, that your life will fall apart, and how she has many, entrepreneurs or business owners worshiping her, giving her donations in exchange for profits. So in a world where there seems to be so much cheating and cheating propensity, where people are just trying to gain more and more, how can you actually understand who are the right people, what makes a guru, what makes a spiritual path an actual spiritual path rooted in tradition?
Well, there are gurus and there are kangaroos. So you got to be careful. You have to think very carefully, what is this movement all about? And what are these people in the movement like? Are they full of love and devotion, or do they have material motives rather than pure spiritual motives? You have to take your time and study the people and see how they relate to each other and how they relate to you. Everybody wants to be part of a group of loving people who are doing good things and speaking nicely, no grossness, and above all, not being, let's say, sex maniacs. Rather, they should be Krishna maniacs, wanting to please Krishna. So, the number one thing that should never happen in a group of people is to have lusty people. Lust, anger, and greed are three qualities that destroy camaraderie, that destroy relationships. So when you have a small or large group of people who are not lusty, angry, and greedy, it's bliss. People can get things done and achieve different goals nicely. So if you can find a group of people like that, then your life becomes blessed. And there should be definitely a spiritual, let's say, goal that everyone wants to reach. And you can't simply, like I've seen so many groups in all my years that came together and they were, trying to live a simple life, but they weren't really spiritual. So over time, they all disintegrated. They all stopped and went different ways. So the binding, let's say, principle of people working together and sacrificing together is love of Krishna, or love of God. That really is the greatest, let's say, binder. If everyone has love for God, then you can spread that love to others. So just like if there's a husband and wife and they both love Krishna, then they'll stay together their whole lifetime. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the closest person to you because he's right in your heart. He's in the heart of every living entity. And when you become cognizant of the fact that God is in your heart, he knows everything you're thinking, everything you're desiring, and he can help you in every way to achieve your desires, as long as those desires are pure. If you have nasty desires, well, of course, God will help you get those desires also, but it'll be a catastrophe for you. But if you have only good desires, if you're a well-wisher, and my spiritual master, he whenever he wrote a letter, and he would always sign, "Your ever well-wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada." So we should all become well-wishers, always wish good to others. That way, the other people will always want good for you too. So that goodness principle is very important when you're trying to have a spiritual community.
I think there are very good takeaways that I got, like for people who are trying to pursue spirituality, like doing good to others and building meaningful, genuine relationships,
Yes.
and building a community around that with the people who are striving for the common goal. And I heard, like you mentioned, that God is Krishna and He's seated in each of our hearts. So is Krishna a sectarian name, as we?
Is Krishna what?
Is it a sectarian name? Is it refers to a particular religion, or is it universal?
The name of Krishna means that he is always happy and always well-wishing and always trying to lead people into the right direction. Krishna is not a mean God. Like, for example, if you read the Old Testament, sometimes you get the idea, wait a minute, God's not so nice. Because if you read it carefully, it looks like he's prejudiced. But Krishna is not prejudiced. He accepts everyone because he's in the heart of everyone. And he tries to help everyone develop a spiritual conception of life. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, and always chanting the names of God with love and devotion. That's what Krishna is trying to do, to bring about that type of a society. And obviously, that type of a society makes things very easy for everyone. So, so many people are harassed by the everyday things that they have to do. But when you are in a spiritual relationship with God, you're not harassed. You know that there is someone who is always the closest person to you and is always going to help you in every situation. And Krishna says, "Konteya pratijanahi name bhakta pranasyati." Declare it boldly, Arjuna, that my devotee is never ignored and always will be successful. So therefore God, or Krishna, is guaranteeing protection of the person who takes an interest in him. So now, you might say, well, I believe in Jesus Christ, or I believe in this one or that one. That's okay, just as long as your belief is to do good to others. And then, even better than that, to actually eventually come to the point of understanding that that goodness becomes even more, even more tangible and even more important when you develop actual love and devotion. So bhakti yoga is the yoga of love and devotion. And when you can share that love and devotion with others, then not only you're happy, but you feel as if, okay, this is what real life is, to build up a camaraderie of love and devotion. So devotion means you're willing to do good things, not only for yourself, but for other people. And love means that you see that God is in the heart of every living entity. So there's no more, what you would call, let's say, rejection. If you see someone that looks like a drunkard in the street, you still understand that God is in his heart. and because of maybe some bad decisions such a person has made, it doesn't mean that they should be rejected. They can be rehabilitated if they're in the right association. So the number one thing in a person's life is to have the good association and camaraderie of genuine devotees. Then all your life and all your plans, they become easy because Krishna will help you. He's in your heart. He's the closest person to you. And other people like yourself, when they work together, you can do great things. And why? Because everybody decides to cooperate. It's very difficult in this life to get people to cooperate. In these big companies, they have to pay people a lot of money to cooperate. But when you have a spiritual organization, you don't have to pay people. They don't even want to get paid. They just want to do good things. And then you might say, well, how do you live if you don't have any money? No, money will come also by working honestly, and then also in your spare time, being part of a group of people that are doing good things and helping others. So you shouldn't worry about money, and you shouldn't worry about being cheated if you find good people. Now, how do you recognize the good people? Well, number one, they should not be interested in sex. They should be interested more in respecting people and working cooperatively. Sex is something that is only meant for having nice children. Besides that, sex should never be engaged in because it'll destroy your life if you do. So, and by the way, it'll also destroy friendships. So when there's no sexual, let's say, undercurrents in a group of people or even in one-to-one relationships, then you feel safe. Once you feel safe, then you can do all your creativeness comes out, and you can do wonderful things. And when everyone's working together without any fear, then you can do everything that is what you can call godly. It's pure, it's clean, and it's safe. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. I know we're just barely getting to scratch the surface of your background and the concepts of Bhakti Yoga, and maybe in the future we'll have the opportunity to have you back. But just looking at the time, I think we need to move on. So we'll go ahead and transition to our next Kirtan. We'll do a quick shuffle. So we'll be back in 30 seconds after a quick, I guess it's not an ad break, but it's just a break.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Alright, so this will be a collaborative kirtan where everybody plays an instrument, but also most importantly, remember to sing along.
That's it. No more. Yeah, get this down.
the one who's playing.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Thank you very much. Probably the most interactive Kirtan that ever happened in Seattle. Thank you for taking part. to retake their seats, and we'll end the night with one more kirtan. So again, we'll do a quick practice round of this. So the first word is Radhe, 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 Govinda, 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 Radhe, Radhe. And then there's a second part. Govinda, Govinda, Radhe, Radhe, Gopala, Gopala, Radhe, Radhe. Before we start, I'll ask everybody to move up 7.2 inches. Lots of empty room in the front. Krishna good example of how sound has profound effects on us. And then finally, we'll round off the night with our Kirtan Soulfest. So that's happening next week. We do kindly request that you register on Eventbrite so we can get a heads up of how many people are coming, and if there are too many people coming, we have to close off registration because the room is only so big. And finally, I want to acknowledge and thank all of our Kirtan leaders for today. We had Jasper on the guitar. What's our menu today? I think it's a South Indian menu. Yeah, so for those of you who love Indian food, I think we know what you can. We know what you can. All right, yes. So we'll go ahead and get that set up, and in 30 seconds or so, we'll be ready to serve you. Thank you.